Thomas@moord.net. Hoofstuk 15 tot 17. Thomas en Louisa word gered. Yay! Let's see how that happens. So in hoofstuk 15, Alex and Hannes, they are worried about Thomas and they decide to go to Thomas's house to see if there aren't any clues in his room. So they have very worried parents in the living room, so they decide to sneak out. And Hannes' sissy Carla, she's going to take them to Thomas's house. Once there, they see that the light of Thomas's room is switched on and they are worried. Alex looks through the window and she sees a horrible sight. She sees a very angry man walking around with a hammer, Louisa on the floor, a guy with a knife, and luckily she sees Thomas, so she knows he's still alive. Hannes gives his phone to Alex and starts to record, the voice record. And before Alex knows what's going on, she sees that Hannes is climbing through the window. She is totally shocked. What if the angry guy, sees him and kills all of them? So she takes her own phone and she calls for help. So in hoofstuk 16, Thomas besef, as hy vir Nicholas tot môreoggend kan laat praat, dat hulle 'n beter kans staan om te lewe. So it's late the evening, and if he can get Nicholas to talk until the next morning, they stand a better chance to live. And why does he think this? Want nommer 1, sy pa sal bekommerd raak as Louisa nie haar foon antwoord nie. So the next morning, when Louisa does not answer a text or answer the phone when his dad phones her, he will obviously start to worry and know that something's wrong. En nommer 2, hulle sal hom by die skool mis. The school will realize that he's not there. So Nicholas tells Thomas that evening, his grandpa, sy oupa, went to the house to speak to Sarabeth. Hy wou net met Sarabeth praat. He wanted to find out where the gold coins are. Hy wou hoor waar die goue muntstukke is. Maar Sarabeth wou die polisie laat roep. She wanted to call the police. Hy het haar arm gegryp, maar net om haar te kalmeer. So he grabbed her arm, but only to calm her down. Obviously that didn't help. En sy hardloop solter toe hysteries. So hysterically, she ran to her room. En hy het geweet sy sou haar pa vertel. He knew that she will tell her dad and that he will then lose everything. So, the only thing to do was to kill Sarabeth, and what better way than the same way than her mom, the way her mom died. So important to note is the relationship, die verhouding tussen Nick Miller-McKay en Sarabeth is dat Nick Miller-McKay Sarabeth se peetpa is, her godfather. So Thomas tells Nicholas that in the newspaper he read that his opa was arrested. Did he not go to jail? Well, Nicholas sê 2 dinge het in sy guns getel. 2 things was in his favor. Nommer 1. Na Sarabeth se moord is Robinson in 'n gestig opgeneem. So after the murder or the death of Sarabeth, Robinson went into this institution. He was hospitalized because he went crazy, because he knew that it was his fault. He knew that these murders on his wife and the murder of his daughter was to get back to him, to teach him a lesson, and that, basically it's his fault. En nommer 2, sy oupa se broer was een van die beste prokureurs in die land. So the grandpa, the one who killed her, his brother was one of the best lawyers in the country and he represented him. And so the case was thrown out of court. And this is where Thomas realized that, the law firm was Miller, Milan and Klute, the same law firm that used their house as offices. Nicholas sê dat daarna het sy oupa en sy broer Engeland toe gegaan. So his grandpa and his brother went to England just to lay low a bit. However, hulle het nooit teruggekom nie. Hoekom? Hulle is albei in 'n bergklim ongeluk oorlede. Both died in a mountain climbing accident. Hannes climbs through the window, and Thomas sees this. And once inside, Hannes shows Thomas these signs. And initially, Thomas didn't know what it meant. But then he realized, oh, we used to do this in rugby, and it was these signals. And then he realizes that Hannes wants Thomas to tackle Michael. Hannes was also busy with the computer cables close to Nicholas's shoes. So Thomas asked him, how come now? How come you never went looking for the coins? How come now? So Nicholas sê dat sy pa wou niks met sy oupa of broer se sake te doen nie. So his dad didn't want anything to do with his grandfather or his grandfather's brother. So all his belongings, he just put it in a box and stored it. And he didn't want to look at it, didn't want to go through it. So 30 years ago, 30 jaar gelede, Nicholas found these boxes with information. And he started with his research. He started to try and solve the mystery and find these gold coins. So Hannes is showing Thomas these signs again. But before they can do anything, Cleo jumps onto Nicholas. Hannes tells Thomas, now. Thomas tackles Michael to the ground. Hy stamp Michael grond toe, and Hannes hits Nicholas over the head with a cricket bat. Iemand gil en die lig gaan af. So someone screams and the light went out. And Hoofstuk 17, we realize that Thomas is alive. He survived. He's resting in his room. Alex and Hannes is there, and he learns that Hannes saved him. He's a hero. Hannes and Alex also tells him that Nicholas and Michael, so Nicholas and his brother, were arrested. And Thomas' pa was in Johannesburg, so his dad was in Joburg for work. And Matthijs, the bode, the guy that worked at the law firm, he found his dad and told him that your family's life, your family's in danger. Thomas se pa kom in en hy gee vir Thomas die goeie nuus dat hy 'n baba sussie het. So Louisa gave birth to a little girl. And although she's born a month and a half too early, a maand and a half te vroeg, both of them are doing well. So Alex and Hannes need to go home to let Thomas rest. And Thomas is so excited to get a good night's rest, a good night's sleep. Because now he can finally sleep. He does not have to be scared because he knows now that it was just Nicholas and his brother trying to scare him. However, he was just about to fall asleep when he hears his printer printing something. And he knows his printer switched off. So there's no way that his printer can be printing something. He is shocked. He goes to his printer and he sees on the page, it says, "Thank you, Thomas." Thomas looks around in his room and he says, "It's my plezier, Sarabeth. It's my pleasure." Okay, guys, I hope that this helped you. Please have a look at my other videos in this playlist of Thomas at moord.net. Goodbye.